Hey soul family, welcome back to the channel. This is the White Feather Tarot, and in today's reading we're doing a very important topic in my opinion. We're doing what does your higher self think about you, and I feel like this is going to be a very important reading in our self-assessment journey. What better way to understand more about ourselves and how far we've come and where we need to go than from our own higher self. So to do this reading, we will be picking out 4 piles together. So for pile number 1, I see it's sticking out, 2, 3, and I feel this one as 4. Let's reveal them together. So for pile number 1, we have Astonished. For pile number 2, we have Awakening. For pile number 3, we have Confident. And for pile number 4, we have Peaceful. If you like to pick with crystals, let me add these right now. There we go. So for pile number 1, we have the Mookaite Jasper. For pile number 2, we have the green Aventurine. For pile number 3, we have the Lapis Lazuli. And this is what it looks like. For pile number 4, we have the yellow Aventurine, and this is what it looks like. All right, so take a look at which one of these 4 piles or 4 crystals you're the most drawn to, and that is probably the pile for you here today. If you feel drawn to more than one pile or more than one crystal, trust your intuition because it will always guide you to the right readings. You'll always find that you have important messages there that you're meant to hear. And as usual, you'll find the timestamps down in the description box. Click on your times and I'll see you in your readings. Hey soul family, if you love the shuffling and the card picking process, I always leave that part especially for you and for me too. I love spending this time with you, and I feel that this part of the process is very calming and soothing and relaxing, and it has its own magic that I absolutely love. Just witnessing how the cards come out and seeing how the cards are chosen is just an amazing experience, really. Okay, so before we begin, I just want to let you know that if you're interested in any of the decks that I use, I always leave their name down in the description box. Okay, so let's get into it. And let's shuffle with intention. What does your higher self think of you? There we go. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Moving on to the next oracle deck. Let's shuffle with intention and ask, what does your higher self think of you? There we go. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Don't you think it's really magnificent how no matter what we do, you always get the cards that you are meant to receive. It just blows my mind. And how it's always synchronistic, how it shows the message clearly. And you wouldn't think that while you're picking this card, it's exactly what you're supposed to get in your reading. It's so magical. It blows my mind every time. Such a magical experience, really. Oh, well, that's ready. 1, 2. Okay, it's not meant to come out. 3. See, things like that. And 4. Okay, we are now ready with our oracle cards. Let's get into our tarot cards. So, yeah, let's put this one here because it's out of the screen. There we go. So, what does their higher selves think of them, please? What does your higher self think of you? What does your higher self think of you? Thank you. 1. Okay, it doesn't want to come out. 2, 3, and 4. And sometimes it doesn't come out, but I really feel it. That's when I go after it and try to pick it. I just know, I feel it. And other times it doesn't come out. It shows you that it's a message that it does not want to come out. So it's always a combination between how you feel, if you have a strong hunch about something, and how the cards are interacting with you. And no matter what you do, at the end of the day, you always get the cards that are meant to reach you. It's unbelievable. Oh, thank you so much. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Moving on to our next tarot deck. Let's shuffle with intention. What does your higher self think of you? Thank you. 1, 2. I feel like this is 4, and 3 and 4. Okay. Next deck. What does your higher self think of you? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Lovely. Now it's time for our last deck. Again, let's shuffle with intention. What does... Oh, thanks a lot. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. I think we're now ready. We have our piles prepared. All we need to do is to put them in neatly together. So that is pile number 1. We have to be careful. There's a small card at the back this time. So this is pile number 1. I feel like I'm going to take this small card and I'm going to put it right there so that it doesn't fall when we first start the reading. There we go. So this is pile number 1 with the Mookaite Jasper. And this is pile number 2. Let's put it, let's put it there. Oh, we didn't add the main card. Okay. There we go. So pile number 2. Now we'll add the green Aventurine. There we go. pile number 3. And again, we'll take this and add it in the middle. Lovely. Pile number 3 is ready. And we'll add in the Lapis Lazuli. And pile number 4, we'll add this in the middle as usual. Pile number 4 is also ready. And we'll add the yellow Aventurine. There we go. Our 4 piles are ready. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I always love your energies. I love taking the time to connect energetically with you. Thank you, and let's get into your reading. Hi, pile number 1. So you have chosen the beautiful Mookaite Jasper, as well as Astonished. So let's take a look at your cards and see exactly what your higher self thinks about you. Okay, so we're going to take a look at your oracle cards first. So you have Mars in Capricorn with authority. You have Companion. What a beautiful card. Loyalty, tenacity, and unselfishness. So beautiful. Okay. In fact, with Astonished, at first glance, I saw it as astounding. So there's a big message there. Okay. Now, this is the oracle card that you got. All right. And I believe it's time for us to take a look at your tarot cards. So you have the Queen of Wands. You also have the Three of Cups. You have Temperance. You have Knight of Chalices, which is of course the Knight of Cups. Interesting. Okay. And you have the Star card with Silence. Wow. Such an interesting combination. I'll say that from the very start. I'm not surprised at all you have Astonished, or as I saw at first, astounding. What I can clearly see already is that your higher self finds you pretty balanced, with the Temperance card centering your reading. Your higher self thinks very highly of you, actually. You have the Star card with Astonished, and how I saw it as astounding from the beginning. In fact, the Mookaite Jasper is not a stone that you can find anywhere around the world. You can find it in certain parts of Australia and New Zealand, I believe. And so you can already see your higher self seeing you as quite a unique person. Another thing that I see here with the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Wands is quite a strong character. The Queen of Wands always inspires the people around her or them, their tribe, to be strong and courageous. But you sometimes see that the way she pursues, the way they pursue their desires, regardless of the obstacles, is quite charming, because sometimes they can face a stubborn opponent, and so then they would use their charm to ease her way out, or their way out, and to pursue their rivals into joining them and becoming their allies. So you see that beautiful charm, and this is what you can see in your oracle card here. Quite a smart, witty person, and that is quite signified by the wand here that is quite sharp. It shows a sharp mind, and it's right in intersection with the moon here in this card. You can see how the Queen of Wands uses their sharpness as well as their intuition. So very smart person, very witty, knows how to get along with people, has a charm to them, and you can already see it with the companion here. And I can see a combination here of being loving, but at the same time having this authoritative air to you, having a strong, confident personality, and not afraid to use your charm as well, which I believe this is something you're moving towards when it comes to your higher self, pile number 1. Because with vulnerability here, I see that you have grown and balanced throughout the years, and you're now so much comfortable in your own skin, comfortable with who you are. You're becoming that person every day, and I see you on the throne, which really shows that you're already there. You exude confidence at this point of your life, is what I'm seeing. Your high self, the way your high self sees you, and you're becoming more in touch of who you're supposed to be, and therefore becoming one with your higher self. You're coming closer to who you're supposed to be every day, and that is really amplified by having this message, of course, is amplified by having the Temperance card right at the center of your reading, showing how you're reaching your balance every day. Pile number 1. You're seen as very unique, some sort of holy grail. Perhaps it's because you work so much on yourself, pile number 1. You've learned to love and appreciate yourself very much. You've learned to not be afraid to use the power that you have. And you've learned how to use this power tactfully and tastefully. And so this power is not coming from a place of vulnerability and weakness, where you'd see how power comes from a place of weakness when a person screams and shouts and tries to hit other people with attitudes that are nasty or mean, trying to get a reaction from people because it satisfies them, and so on. You can see how all of that comes from a really vulnerable place of wanting power so much, of wanting to just see an effect on people. But in your case, pile number 1, I really do see that your power genuinely comes from a calm and tranquil place, a place of true power, where you do it so effortlessly. You do it, see how this character is winking. And this is how you get charm, and this is what we're seeing exactly in your reading. When you're calm, when it genuinely comes from a place of effortless power, and you no longer need to be nasty, and so there are pleasant emotions that come with that people around you find very charming and find very pleasurable to experience as well, pile number 1. And that's what we see with the Knight of Cups here. Someone who's calm, relaxed, having a nice time, and is not angry, is not nasty, is quite happy and relaxed. And this is why I see your higher self thinking very highly of you. With the star, I see you have elevated greatly in terms of your spiritual journey, pile number 1. And as a result of that, you are truly becoming who you are supposed to be. What a beautiful reading, pile number 1. In fact, I now just noticed the 10th house, which is not a house just about career, but also about public image and reputation. And we can clearly see here, when you're focused more on loving you, on being comfortable in your own skin, in balancing your own shadow and light, that you have been able to have this beautiful public image and reputation that you currently have, this public status, I see, that you have, maybe even effortlessly without you noticing, pile number 1. You're starting to have this wonderful place in society, or how you're seen and perceived, because you are not functioning from a vulnerable place. You're not functioning from a place where you want others to like you, otherwise it may trigger you. Not at all. You come from a very strong place now, where you are comfortable with who you are, and it shows and it exudes from you, this balance, this beautiful balance that you've created. And it's automatically giving you this wonderful image that is very effortless, pile number 1. And I see there's a strong focus on how you're perceived here by your higher self, not because it's about others, but just to highlight, in fact, that how you've made it all about you, pile number 1. With the Knight of Cups here, we do see a lot of memories, pictures, and perhaps even a photo album here, or a journal, which kind of shows me that you have gone through a long journey of mastering who you are. I'm quite intrigued by you, pile number 1, and that's quite, it's not a common journey that we get to see all the time in the readings. And so I'm fascinated by how much you have gone and the amount of tranquility that you've reached. And with the star here, it shows what kind of heights you've reached, especially with silence. Silence is a very strong word in your reading, and it matches the energy that we're seeing. It wasn't about ever the outside people when you were fixing your shadow. It was all about other things that weren't even about how you're perceived in the first place. It was all about you healing so many things between you and your higher self, between you and you, making sure that you reach balance so that you are a much healthier, happier person. And as a result of that, you got so many benefits out of it. Pile number 1, which we can see as highlighted here, your strong social status. You're no longer fighting with other people and being dragged down to their chaos. I see you rising above that and knowing how to deal with it with strength, but charm as well at the same time. Now, of course, everything is a continuous learning curve, but you're at this place now in your journey, my dear beautiful pile number 1. I cannot even begin to emphasize how much I love your reading, pile number 1. You should really be proud of yourself. Good job. I see so many hand movements in your reading, with the arm here, and then this gesture here, which is also being mimicked in this card. You have the Queen of Wands with 4 arms. You have the 3 of Cups with all their arms in the air. Yes, a lot of arm movement, as you can see, even in your main card. I'm just noticing a lot of arm movement. And this really shows that you're a hard worker. Someone who works a lot, balances their mind with their passion. And you can see that you're quite skills. Nature has given you a lot and you use it to improve yourself, to better yourself, to work hard to get the things that you want. You're someone who's very adamant about reaching your goals, doing what's best for yourself, doing what you have in mind. And another thing that I also noticed, tying with this idea, the Star card as well as the Queen of Wands both suggest stardom, fame as well. So maybe pile number one, you're at a point in your life, wink wink, where you might perhaps start to be famous or well known for your efforts, for your work. Maybe it's not just stardom, maybe it's recognition, strong recognition by the people around you or your clients perhaps, or your job, your managers, by the strong efforts and the sharp mind that you have, especially the hard work that you put in, pile number one. It's really making you seen at the moment of this reading. Another strong thing that I'm really seeing here that could resonate for some of you or maybe all of you, but I'm seeing very clearly. I do see the masculine energy relaxing while the feminine energy being standing up strong, in a strong position in your life. This kind of shows me here that your masculine energy is something that you have a strong hold of, something that perhaps was at a certain point the dominant energy, and now your feminine energy is rising strongly. So it's kind of like your masculine energy is already strong, it's running automatically, and your feminine energy is rising at this point of your life. Perhaps feminine energy could be flowing. Feminine energy could be a lot of things. Maybe you are becoming more intuitive. Maybe you are becoming more sociable and loving and empathetic and connecting with others on a deeper level. This could also be, the feminine energy could be you taking care of how you look and being more receptive to receiving. This is going to differ, but I do see a lot of feminine energy rising in your reading. And of course, whether you identify as male or female, we're talking here about energies that we all have both of and use both at this point of your life. Perhaps the feminine energy is going to help you in a certain part of your life at this point. Pile number one. So pile number one, that was your reading. I cannot emphasize how much I enjoyed it. It's so wonderful getting to know you. Thank you for sharing your energy with me. And if you've enjoyed your reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it, but it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. If you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And pile number one, it was such a pleasure. I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number two. So you've chosen the beautiful green Aventurine, as well as the word awakening. So welcome to your reading. Let's take a look at your cards and see exactly what your higher self thinks about you. Let's take a look at your oracle cards first. So you have Goddess. Wow. We're starting on an amazing foot, actually, right away. You have the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. Gosh, beautiful. Okay. A lot of reds I see as well in your reading. You have this oracle card. That's what it looks like. And you have the moon in Aquarius with independence. Love your energy. Pile number 2. Okay. I believe we're now ready for your tarot deck, your tarot cards. You have the Lovers. Hold on. I want to keep it PG and comfortable for everyone watching. All right, so you have the Lovers. You have the Six of Wands. Gosh, it's so beautiful. I love this specific Six of Wands. So powerful. Okay. You have the King of Pentacles. You have the Page of Swords. Again, another Page of Swords that I really love. And you have the Four of Swords with postponement. Okay. Hold on, I'm going to push the cards to the right. I see why you are being depicted as a goddess here in your reading. Whether you identify as male or female, of course. That's just energy. I truly see here with the Lover's card, because always remember the Lover's card is mainly a card about choice and not just necessarily about romantic love. Depending on the context, it depends on the context, of course. And so I see your higher self speaking highly of you, about you choosing to change so many things about you and about your life. With awakening, the Green Aventurine, the King of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords, I feel like you've had a moment in your life where you have looked pragmatically at and assessed your situation very well and decided to do something better. You've taken a leap of faith in yourself and in your dreams in specific. Pile number 2, especially with suppressed here, it kind of shows that there was this living force inside of you that was waiting to happen, that was waiting, some creative force that was there but not there. Just like the idea of the creation of the universe from Shunyata, from there was if you take a look at mythologies from different parts of the world, they all talk about the world coming out of nothingness, where there was a lot of nothingness, some sort of mystic nothingness, unlimited power of nothingness that turned into something that created the universe. And that's the kind of layering I see here, where at some point there was so much creative energy inside of you. Nothing was happening on the outside, but there was so much potential waiting to explode out of you. And there was an awakening moment for you where you changed your world. You can see here how it was depicted in gray and now in color, just because of a vision that you had. And if you decided to launch these dreams to the universe, you decided to believe that you were going to create something. It's kind of like posting it even on your vision board and releasing it. Deciding to take strong action. And you can see here a figure riding a beautiful bumblebee. And bumblebees always represent working hard. And you see the dice here, or the die, showing that you took a chance on yourself. It keeps being repeated in your reading. This leap of faith that you took is bringing you a lot of success, is moving you towards the road of success, my dear pile number 2. And that's why you have the green Aventurine, which is all about blessings happening for you, good fortune. It's like kind of like a good luck charm, in fact, the green Aventurine, if you would like to wear it. It brings a lot of good luck. Yeah, a true good luck charm. Anyway, going back to your reading, this is causing a lot of success ahead for you. I see your future self, your higher self, and perhaps future self came in the reading as well, giving you kind of like an omen, showing you that in the future things are looking magnificent. Okay, so this shows that in the near future you're moving to a lot of success and victory, and you do see a cake, celebration, blessings coming in, being full. And by full means getting perhaps the things that you want. You know how they say money doesn't grow on trees, but for you, I see a tree here where this person is consuming wine, but there's more grapes growing on the tree, showing that there's more to come, more happening for you, you know? A lot of abundance ahead for you, pile number 2. With the King of Pentacles and the Goddess, I see you being in a high position, especially with the Eagle as well. Being in a high position in your near future. Perhaps this is about landing or being promoted in your job, taking a higher position. Or you could be hiring a team, some sort of dream team maybe. Maybe you're working on an important project and you'll be hiring a dream team. Your project seems to be quite unique, pile number 2, with the moon in Aquarius, because Aquarius is all about progressive thinking, thinking ahead before others. So it seems like you are on your life mission. It seems like these certain decisions that you've made and these certain choices have truly changed your life and who you are today, and will continue to change your future forever, and changing the trajectory of how your world was going for eternity. So congratulations on these big moves and these important decisions, pile number 2. I see your higher self being really proud of who you are, seeing that you are on track when it comes to your life mission and who you are supposed to be and the life that you are supposed to live, leading to your own success and to the success in the environment or the cause that you are working towards. Congratulations, my dear pile number 2. Congratulations for changing your life like that. I see you have evacuated some dark times here, some gloomy times. In fact, you can see it here as well, how the figure in the bumblebee is in color while everything else down there is in gray. And this kind of gives me the understanding, especially with choice being here, that you understood that in life we shouldn't be waiting for someone to come and save us or a certain circumstance to come and save us. And waiting for someone or something to come was not the right choice to make. And I see that you've taken it upon yourself to create your own life. And your higher self is expressing here that you have become someone who's self-reliant, someone who relies on their own selves to create the life that they want, to birth for themselves whatever it is that they want to create. You've kind of learned the trick here, especially with the Page of Swords, because the Page of Swords is someone who goes after what they want, plans for what they want, fetches the information needed especially to get what they want. It's quick energy, proactive energy. So I see that you have learned the trick here, and you've learned an important lesson in life, to be proactive towards getting what you want, not waiting for savior, even when things are gloomy and unfair, when you've already been doing your best and everything changes perhaps and collapses with all the gray, when people are unfair, when it hurts, even when it hurts. Yes, of course, take the time to heal, but with the awakening to get up again and give a new chance and a new rebirth for yourself, to find your victory once more. It's kind of become manifestation, it seems, has become some sort of game for you, where you got a grip of it, you know how to do it. And to you now, it's all about releasing a wish to the universe and working on it hard and making it happen, just like a goddess, a great manifester. Pile number 2. I really feel a lot of pride, a lot of pride from your higher self, of just how far you've come and what's ahead of you to achieve still, with that sort of attitude that you have now. Pile number 2. Strong, adamant force that is out there, achieving what it is that you want or supposed to become. Pile number 2. And it seems like you are totally in alignment with what you're supposed to achieve in life and do with your life mission specifically. I can see here that you have the idea of becoming part of a whole. Part of a whole. You've understood that you are part of something far greater than yourself. That you are the universe itself. And this shows me that you no longer feel weakened by the circumstances or the situations that happen to you, that you have become the universe. You realize that you are the universe within yourself, that you are capable of facing challenges head on. You're not afraid of them weakening you. You're not threatened by what life is going to throw at you, because now, with this kind of awakening, with this kind of awareness, you no longer want to go down, and your behavior now has changed to, right, so what are we going to do about that? How am I going to rise from that? Because I do not want to go back to feeling the way I used to feel, or go back to that place that I used to be in once before. It was such a dark place, it seems, that nothing in the world for you is worth going back to that place. And now that you've gotten in touch with that inner strength and inner infinite power that you have, that you now have full access to, you're now functioning from a place of, I am the universe, I am power, I am strong. And let's see how we're going to face that. Let's see what we're going to do about this situation. Nothing is strong enough to put me down or make me feel the way that I used to feel. You have more acceptance, but at the same time, it's combined and intertwined, this acceptance, with a lot of strength. It's woven with acceptance, woven with strength. And together, they always make you rise once more. So you have the patience to go through it, but you have a lot of power in you that helps you plan with the Page of Swords, that helps you plan and to calmly think about what you're going to do to get out of it and rise like a goddess. Wow, pile number 2, your pile is so impressive. What a strong character. What an impressive character. You should really be proud of yourself. Good job on these choices that you've made, on these strong, healthy choices, and being in touch with a power like that is just magnificent. Pile number 2, it was such a pleasure doing this reading and a real honor. Thank you for tuning in and listening. If you've enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it, but it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And pile number 2, it was such a pleasure getting to know you. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So you have chosen the beautiful Lapis Lazuli. And you have also chosen the card Confident. Very intriguing indeed. All right, so first things first, let's take a look at your cards. Namely, we'll be taking a look first at your oracle cards. So you have Detective. Okay, let me adjust that. All right, so we have Detective. Light attributes, great powers of observation and intuition, desire to seek out the truth. Interesting. Okay, you also have this oracle card, and this is how it looks like. And you have the moon in Gemini with adaptability. Okay. Let's take a look at your tarot cards. So you have Judgment. Wow, I love that. Okay. You have the Ace of Wands. Beautiful. Okay. You have the Three of Pentacles. You have the Eight of Pentacles. And you have the Devil card here with conditioning. And I love this specific Devil card. Wow. Where do I begin with that? Seeing the Devil card here, as well as confidence highlighting your reading, I really do see that in the past, especially with uncertainty in your shadow, I see that in the past, you're here depicted as someone who has so much power. In fact, I channeled or heard in my ear the word superpower. Superpower. So it seems like you were always a very strong person, but you may have in the past, as obviously seen here, in some situations maybe, undermined your true power. You have labeled yourself with really false labels, labels that you decided were yours, that weakened you, but were never yours. You tied yourself to them. And especially with the Devil card, it's a card all about illusions. You've conditioned yourself to be someone who you're really not, and it wasn't comfortable, because how can you be playing a role that is not yours? Pile number 1. And I really do see that there has been a rise, an ascension to your soul, to who you are as a person, becoming a strong, confident person. And it's very much highlighted in your reading here with the Ace of Wands. The aces are the source of that energy, and with the wands, wands is all about power, force, confidence, passion. And so I see here the depiction of you working so hard, because you have the 3 of Pentacles and the 8 of Pentacles, both cards all about work. You've done so much work and tactfully got in touch of your inner power, your inner superpower. And you were able to overcome so many weaknesses, false ideas, negative ideas that used to bring you down. You've overcome so much of these negative beliefs and won over them, my dear pile number 3. What an amazing depiction. It's really highlighted all over your reading, especially with the Judgment here. You see the angel blowing its whistle or its trumpet, awakening the dead. You do see a figure here of someone who is shocked, seeing the other world, still holding on to their world, doesn't want to believe that they woke up, doesn't want to believe that there was another world. Doesn't sound like good news to them. You see someone who's slapping their forehead, depicted as someone who's done a lot of mistakes, or perhaps didn't believe in the other world, and now as they rise, they know that there's another world, and now they're slapping their forehead. And you see another figure here asking for mercy, because they've done so much, so many wrongdoings to other people, and did not give the same mercy that they're asking for. And anyways, you can really see here that there's a lot of conflicting thoughts and a lot of shadow work that needs to happen. And you see a moment of awakening, a strong moment of awakening, of rectifying all these ideas that hurt, all these dark thoughts that perhaps used to weigh you down at some point. Not these exact thoughts. These are just the depictions on the card. But we can see the energy of ideas that used to weigh you down. And at some point, I do see you choosing yourself, as opposed to all the uncertainties and all the weakness that you experienced on the outside world. And I see you truly making a good judgment of what is exactly going on wrong, especially with detective here. Great powers of observation and intuition. I see you, your higher self describing you as someone who was honest and bold enough and strong, which is a great testament to the great powers and great the strength that you already have. And decided to face in a bold move all these negative thoughts and negative beliefs that just brought you down, where otherwise you are someone who possesses so much strength of character and power, and you weren't in touch with that, and decided to overcome these negative beliefs and claiming your power, deciding to work very hard to meticulously think of where you are, where you need to go, what do you need to change, how you're supposed to act and behave to be your true, authentic self, to be who you truly feel on the inside, and to not be afraid of showing this true strength and true character and to rise above your fears and the limiting beliefs that held you away from who you're supposed to be for such a long time. Perhaps ideas of others not believing in you, with this person slapping their forehead, now seeing who you are. Of people wanting you to continue to be the way you used to be and not rise because that threatens their world. Of people now asking for your mercy when they haven't given it to you. Pile number 3. I see you rising into a strong character, and this time choosing you, learning how to say no when it's time for a no, learning not to take behavior that you don't like from others, setting strong boundaries, not being afraid of showing who you really are. Showing your vulnerability when you want, showing your excitement when you want, and showing your ideas when you want. Being who you truly want to be without being afraid. Kudos to you, pile number 3. I'm so proud of you. And with that sort of change of meticulously taking a look at where you were going wrong and rectifying these behaviors and attitudes, the way of thinking, most importantly. And with the 8 of Pentacles, there's crafting and art here. So 8 of Pentacles is all about working hard. But in this specific card, which is of course the essence of the 8 of Pentacles, I see a lot of craftsmanship in you rectifying these old ideas and behaviors by being so in tune or attuned to exactly where you could be going wrong, being very aware of the type of thoughts that you get at certain moments. Why are you getting these thoughts, and how can you rectify them into stronger ideas the next time you face a situation like that? Or being attuned to your body and how it behaves in certain situations and how to calmly handle it. How to be faithful to you is another thing that you are owning up to and becoming powerful at. Whereas you might have chosen other people in the past, not wanting to disappoint them or not wanting them to feel bad or not wanting to embarrass them. You now have decided to put yourself first, where you will make sure first and foremost that you are not compromised as you take care of the people around you. You're never compromising your power or yourself again. And you make sure that when you are hit, when you are not respected, that you do not hesitate to respond back and set these boundaries. My beautiful pile number 3, I'm so impressed and proud of you doing this reading for you. Such a good job, and it takes real strength, my dear pile number 2, just like the strength you have to take decisions like this and to get up and do things confidently the way you are doing them, meticulously taking a look at where you've gone wrong. Yes, so much inner soul searching, going introspect, looking at things meticulously to rectify them so that you can heal and rise to who you're supposed to be, your higher self, pile number 3. And this is exactly what your higher self is showing us here, how you're growing and rising to becoming who you are supposed to be and claiming your power back, pile number 3. Gosh, good job. You must be so proud of yourself, as you should be. And your higher self is definitely showing a lot of pride in your reading. Pile number 3. I see your future self describing you as someone who loves to gain the right information and to gather knowledge. You're a very curious person by nature, pile number 3, and with the desire to seek out the truth. you seek out the truth in so many ways. So you could get information by reading, you could get information by closely observing others, seeking expert advice, seeing how other people who succeeded do it, analyzing your own information and your own experiences. You're hungry for knowledge is the kind of thing I see in your reading. And to you, it's not about what's popular, what's the popular opinion about this or that. It's really about going down to the source of things. And that's why you have the Ace of Wands. Going to the source of the right information. You almost see a hand coming out of a universe here. And it's like getting the information straight from source, you know? From the source of it, by perhaps going and tracing where it started and who got the information from who, until you find the right source of information, getting right down to it, seeing what others, how others have described their experience, the results coming from experience, real experience, and not just from a superficial level where you see what other people are saying about it and relying that it's the right information. No, you genuinely want to make a change. You genuinely want to get down to understanding things and changing them from inside out. And that's why you've succeeded so much in all of your pursuits, especially in a pursuit that is so astonishing like this one. Very impressive. And that's because you're not afraid to look at what's wrong. If you're reading something and it doesn't look right, you can see beyond it and look at something else. Take out, and not just trash it away altogether. Take out the right piece of information from different sources until you are able to grasp and get hold and connect the dots and find out the truth for yourself. And this has enabled you in so many areas of your life to become successful, but mainly because this is especially a reading about your higher self, mainly in finding who you truly are, finding your true power. And I'm really inclined to say superpower, pile number 3. You have some sort of superpower, great strength on the inside. You finally got in touch with that, touched it, and become in touch with it every single day. And this has helped you to exude that sort of strength and confidence in your life. And it's become finally who you are, as it was supposed to always be, my dear pile number 3. I'm so proud of you. That's not even describing how I feel about your reading. Kudos to you. Great job. And may you always be powerful and confident, my dear pile number 3. So that was your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. And if you have, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. Don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book. You might be interested in it since you love reading. I promise you I have great information there. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it. But it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away. And so if you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And pile number 3, it was such a pleasure doing this reading for you. And I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye. Hi, pile number 4. How are you? Welcome to your reading. So you have chosen the yellow Aventurine as well as peaceful. What a peaceful pile. Let's take a look at your cards. Let's adjust that first. And before we take a look at your tarot cards, I'm going to be taking a look at your oracle cards. So, pile number 4, you have Midas or miser. So you have entrepreneurial or creative ability to turn anything to gold. Delight in sharing life's riches. So beautiful. Okay. You also have this oracle card. And you have the moon in Sagittarius. How interesting. Optimism. I love the moon in Sagittarius. We'll talk about it in a second. A lot of yellows, a lot of fire energy in your reading. Specifically, of course, with the moon in Sagittarius. And with Midas touch, with the gold, a lot of yellows in your reading. So you have the Queen of Swords, our beautiful Queen of Swords. You also have Justice. They come together handy here. Choosing one decision over the other. Okay, you have the Five of Swords. You also have the Eight of Swords. And you have the Two of Cups with friendliness. Wow. Interesting cards for this reading. Pile number 4. The way I see your higher self describing you, pile number 4, is that you are quite the thinker. You're, it's like you're a philosopher of some sort, especially with the 9th house, which is all about life, philosophy and ethics. And you do see a compass here, showing, especially with the moon in Sagittarius, a lot of exploration of ideas and having a compass to gauge very meticulously what's right and what's wrong, reaching the right conclusions. And in your journey to peacefulness, as we can see clearly here in your reading, pile number 4, you've reached a certain amount of inner peace that is so beautiful and admirable, almost sort of peace that is very desirable from the people around you. And this did not come easy to you at all. Do you see how we said you always gauge your thoughts? You're very meticulous about what sort of ideas you plant in your head. Especially with the Justice card here, you do see someone who is holding two seeds, that they're two pouches of seeds. And depending on which one they will plant, whether the shadowy aspect or the light aspect, metaphorically, that's the sort of plants that's going to result from these, this planting process now. And so I see your higher self really describing you as someone who's very meticulous about the type of thoughts and analysis that you allow in. You think very well. Things just don't slide to your unconscious mind without you noticing it. You really take the time as a philosopher of life to think about everything, gauging whether this advice would work for you or not, whether this is the sort of philosophy that you would like to follow or not. And your mind is always a compass of what's right and what's wrong for you. And especially with this card, you can see that you're not afraid of exploring ideas and thoughts that others may be very afraid of exploring. Because to you, at the end of the day, you want to find out what's right and what's wrong so that you can proceed ahead, especially with the Midas touch. You seem to be someone who's very bright, someone who's very skilled, and just like Mida, is able to turn anything that you touch into gold. That doesn't come easy. That comes with a mind that is active, that thinks greatly and prepares greatly before you even touch something. And so when you eventually touch it, it does turn into gold. There's a lot of thought process and planning and creativity that comes into everything that you do, especially when you're working on yourself, pile number 4. And that's how you were able to find your inner peace. You were very meticulous about what sort of ideas you planted in your head, especially during very tough times. You have here with the 5 of Swords, as I can see, and the 8 of Swords, you've experienced a point in your life where things went terribly wrong. They were almost shocking. Despite the fact that you've been working quite hard in the past to make things right, being the character who you are, you put in the work, you made sure that you plant the right things meticulously, and despite all of the efforts that you've been putting in, things went terribly wrong at some point, and you felt stuck with the 8 of Swords. Despite all the work that you put in, despite the planning, despite the tremendous thought process that you put into everything, the good intentions that you had, things went terribly wrong. And it was such a shock for you. You couldn't understand why things would go the way it is, and you went into a long journey into finding your inner peace, my dear pile number 4. I see your future self. Sorry, I apologize. I don't know why future self came in this reading. This is the second time your future self is talking about. Perhaps this means that you're on the way to getting there. I see your higher self being proud of the inner peace that you're building within you at this stage of your life. Inner peace is a lot of hard work. While it may look all easy and peaceful on the outside, there's a lot of inner work that had to be done to reach this amount of inner peace that you currently have, pile number 4. Especially that it wasn't easy for you, and you can see blood, sweat, and tears in this card. Literally blood, sweat, and tears that you had to go through. And it was your skills of this discernment, of thinking, of taking your time to think what went wrong, what ideas am I entertaining, and what ideas should I be entertaining, that got you out of this victim mentality or stuck mentality that you were brought into by illusion because of the circumstances or the tough situations that happened at some time of your life, where things were suddenly went wrong, unexpectedly, despite the fact that you were working hard. And you've been on this long journey for many reasons, of course, but namely and mainly to find inner peace, which was very important for you, pile number 4. I see here you were operating from stress and anxiety without noticing. That really took a toll on you, and perhaps even affected your physical health as well as your mental health. And operating from this place was taking a toll on you. And I see this pause happening in your life where you had to make peace with yourself first, so that you are capable of making peace with everything around you and living with the same set of skills that you have, the same intelligence that you have that enables you to create whatever it is that you want in life, to go back to what you were building, but this time in a peaceful manner, with light, with happiness, with positivity, especially that I told you from the very beginning. I love that you got the moon in Sagittarius, because the moon in Sagittarius, as you can see, is optimism, is a lot of fun, is exploration and traveling, experiencing, having new experiences, but also mental exploration. And you seem to be someone who's super excited about creation and creativity and exploration and planning and making things come to happen, cooking it, because you know the cauldron is a symbol of a womb, cooking something or bringing something into life, creating, birthing something. And because you're so passionate about bringing your ideas to life, you're an explosion of creative ideas waiting to happen, as you can see. But the thing here, how you grew, is because you were operating from a place of stress, as we described. And now, because of this pause, where you found your true peace and decided to accept with peacefulness here, you decided to bring in one key element, to plant one key element into your mind, which is accepting things the way they are. And you see here balancing between two ideas with the Two of Swords and Justice, of course. Balancing between the idea of, do you see the slanted sword, of taking action, and at the same time, the idea of acceptance, where you're moving forth with these two ideas of doing the best that you can, but at the same time accepting if things don't go right. Because you know that even if they don't go right, you'll be thinking about it, and that you will try your best to make the best out of the situation and to move forward to whatever it is that you want. So now acceptance has become a great part of your story and your experience and your growth, and it has helped you create your inner peace as you pursue your goal. You see this yellow ball as you pursue your passions and your goal, pile number 4. You're now not pursuing it from a place of fear, but from rather a place of fun and exploration. Again, merging these two ideas together of fierceful passion and peace and love at the same time. My dear pile number 4. What a lovely way to grow. If we can all be like that. My beautiful pile number 4. What a beautiful stage that you've reached in your life, or about to reach, my dear pile number 4. So impressive. And that's how I see your future self here describing you. Balancing between these two things. You can also see here your higher self describing you now, of seeing life in a much more clearer way than the way that you used to see it. Because as you can see here with the Queen of Swords, do you see? It seems like she had some mesh veil on that kind of distorted the way the Queen of Swords saw life and made her cry. And I see your future self describing the fact that you've grown so much from being a martyr or a victim to how you see the world, to responding with strength by first and foremost accepting what you can't change about the world, understanding that life is full of light and shadow, and for us to grow and ascend as souls, and as well not to wait for life to make you happy, but to find your own happiness within yourself first. And so this main idea of acceptance, accepting things, but at the same time handling it well, is really has really been a great part of your growth, pile number 4. This idea of expect the best but plan for the worst. And so you're hopeful, you're full of power and energy to turn everything that you touch into gold. This creative force inside you is so ready to come out. You're ready to open the door to opportunities and to have fun creating everything that you want in life, but at the same time, you're enjoying life's riches without being afraid of losing anything, because you found great power and great happiness in inner peace, my dear pile number 4. And that's how I see your future, your higher self describing you. I'm personally so intrigued and in love, as always, with pile number 4. So pile number 4, that was your reading. So impressive. I just had to say it one more time. And if you've enjoyed your reading, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a reading that I upload. And don't forget to click on your notification bell. And please don't forget to check out my productivity book if you're interested. It's small, straight to the point, and so you won't procrastinate on reading it. But it has all the key advice and secrets to becoming a productive person right away, all while enjoying the process. And so if you're interested in that, you'll find a link to this ebook down in the description box. And pile number 4, it was such a pleasure. All the best of luck on your journey. May you always be happy and powerful and turn everything that you touch into gold. So pile number 4, I'll catch you in the next reading. Bye.